With this trip, I brought a few things to do some trekking. I packed poorly in 2012, and I've done it again. I brought more than I need. I was keen on doing some trekking through the jungle to begin with, but on a second thought, fuck that. I'm not trekking through no jungle reserve. After being on the receiving end of those mosquitoes in week 1 in Boca del Toro, there's no chance I'm going to a jungle. I'll trek up a volcano, that's cool, but the jungle? Nah. Everybody wants to be Tarzan until it's time to do Tarzan things. I'm not that keen, mate. I've been told how rewarding it is, but I've seen the evidence on a few people's bodies, and the sacrifice doesn't equate to the reward. I can't see it, this reward thing. I just can't see it. All I see is suffering. A week later in Nicaragua. I know I said otherwise, but at this point, I had no choice. This is a little different though. We're heading to Treehouse for a big night out in Granada. Treehouse is a party hostel in Granada. Bananas, by the way. We were taking off the beaten track after getting a cab and beginning to walk through a jungle. More forestry if I'm being honest. And the operative word is trespassing. Trespassing through someone's property to get to the other side. We could hear the music and Treehouse was in sight. Whilst walking through, we got surrounded by 10 dogs. No joke. Woof, 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 woof. Woof, 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 woof. I was with a few people. These fools wanted to walk through the dogs like they weren't even there. They didn't even flinch. Just keep walking, they said. I couldn't believe it. All I could do is follow them at this point. In my mind I thought, this is why unfortunate things happen whilst away. You lot don't see any of the red flags or the problem with trespassing through someone's property at 10 PM. In my mind, as someone who's travelled a lot and seen a lot, I thought if this dude comes out and sees me, it's curtains. I'm from London where you grow up quick, where you learn how to navigate around the city early, where to go and where not to go. To give context, at 10 PM or any other time, as someone unfamiliar walking through someone's estate or property, the latter is, and some may consider the former as well, to be trespassing, a no-go. Kids as young as 12 know that. God knows why these young adults don't. The term slipping comes to mind. Side note, when I began driving on these ride-hailing apps, I gawked when driving through places like Peckham and Hackney. Peckham more so as the changes have been so dramatic. It's now a hub for nightlife, a fusion of people walking around casually like it's a Sunday. Somewhere where there's so much history and dynamics. Once upon a time, you couldn't just go anywhere, be curious. A great example will be when a friend and I were in Medellin, Colombia, on a night out. I still laugh occasionally, but I mean no offense regarding the event. Anyway, there must be this new game out that people from small towns play, called Naivety. I've been known to be a little green myself, but this is another level. We're all having drinks and a laugh. Then everyone decided to either go to the bar or use the toilet, one after another. We all returned and a girl who was a part of our group asked if we'd seen her camera, her expensive camera. We all say no and ask, don't you have it on you? Check in your bag. We've known each other for about a week. This is a good amount of time when travelling. We reassure her that we don't have the camera by checking our bags and pockets to give her peace of mind, so all angles are covered. She said she left it on the table. I mean, we didn't need Sherlock to investigate this case. This is a closed case. It was taken. After a search for the camera, me and my friend looked at each other in shock, but with a slight smile on our faces. We said, in Medellin, Colombia? You left your expensive camera on the table? The home of Pablo Escobar? With all the history of criminality, drugs and violence in this city? You thought your camera would be waiting for you on your return? There's a part of me that wishes we were raised with such innocence. But back to Treehouse. It was awesome. Some of the stories are private, memories shared between family and friends. But maybe one day I'll lift the lid on some of my travels. Anyway, the following day, a bull tried to attack me. Mate, a bull with horns. Do you know how big a bull is? I'm still in disbelief it tried to be inconspicuous. Like a 2,000-pound moving figure wouldn't be seen. I went for a run to Lake Apoyo with this Finnish guy from the hostel the following morning, after our night out at Treehouse. Far. About 12k there and back, and in 25-30 Celsius heat. When we got there and saw the lake, we took a couple pictures, and then Oliver said he wanted to walk down the slope, which was just to our left to see if he can get a better view. It looked dangerous to me, and I was tired, so I decided to wait for him. I thought the pictures we took whilst overlooking the lake by the ledge of the trail was enough danger for one morning. There are some people who are head over heels for risks. I've taken enough risks out here already. Anything that leaves uncertainty or has a question mark, I'm not following you, brother, sister. It's not happening. You're going to get me hurt out here, or even worse, shot or imprisoned. When travelling, I'd always ask every now and then, would anyone find out if anything was to happen to me? My answer was always no. So, I always leant towards self-preservation. Anyway, at the end of the trail, the view of the lake was to our right, and the slope was to our left. I was on the edge of the slope, with my back turned, trying to get my breath back. I remember passing cattle when running, but I don't remember seeing anything in the near distance, or any open gateways. I must have had my back turned for a good few minutes. I turned around and saw it about 10 meters away trying to curl around me, sizing me up, like a free kick. I was thinking, what's going on here? Shocked, I began to look around. With his back on looking at view, it can only have eyes for me. Safety in numbers, where's Ollie? It had no business being where it was, because if it went any closer, it was going off the ledge. I was on the edge of the steep slope, the path, and the ball was on the edge of what will be a monumental drop. Go eat some grass. I knew it was eyeing me up, but I wasn't waiting around. I was off. I scurried straight down the rocky slope where Oliver went. I turned around after I scampered 20 metres. The ball followed. It came to the ledge of the slope of where I was sitting and began taking slow, tepid steps back and forth, minding its step. It was steep and dangerous, and the ball was having problems because of the terrain. But he'd made his mind up. He was coming down. I couldn't believe my eyes. This is really happening. I went to search for Oliver. Where is this boy? He appeared minutes later, and I told him, there's a ball coming down. He laughed and had a wry smile at first. I really value my life. I didn't have time for this. I needed him to take this seriously. I think he thought I was making it up or exaggerating. So I pointed in his direction. Look, go look. The ball was now trudging down. He saw it and began to take it and me seriously. There was a large tree and rocks that could separate us and the ball. So we had to wait for it to trudge down and then maneuver, circle around the tree and the rocks as it approached us. With the slope and the rocky terrain, I didn't believe it could move quick enough to get us. So it went one way and we went another. It looked up at us as we got away and began making our way back to the hostel. The beef was over. I've never ran 6k so diligently. My eyes were peeled. I was running at a good pace. When we got back to the hostel, we told other travellers who couldn't believe it. Probably wished they could exchange places. Fucking tornado chasers. Oliver said he didn't believe me. Of course he didn't. I couldn't believe my eyes and ears at the time either. But from there on in, I said I'm not fucking with people who are naive, green or adrenaline junkies. You go climb that rock. I'll wait here.